During summer season, there's one kind of dessert that people love to eat to cool down. It is an amalgam of crushed ice, sugar palm, boiled kidney beans, flat rice crisp or pinipig, coconut gel, or otherwise known as nata de coco, ripe jackfruit, colored gelatin, sweetened plantains, and in some instances, ice cream. Do you know what I am talking about? Yes, that's right. I am talking about halo halo. Do you love eating halo halo? Most people do. Perhaps it has something to do with its blend of fruity sweetness, or maybe because of its refreshing ice cold goodness. But what if I told you that there's something quite similar to halo halo? Concrete. Yes, that's right. And no, I am not talking about both of them being delicious. I'm talking about both of them being mixtures. You see, in science, mixture is another classification of matter alongside pure substance. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about pure substance and mixture. Matter can be classified into two main categories: pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances are further split into elements and compounds. In our previous lesson, you have learned about elements and compounds. Mixtures, on the other hand, are physically combined structures that can be separated into their original components. Now, there are two types of mixtures: homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Let's have a closer look at pure substance first. A pure substance has a definite and constant composition, like salt or sugar. A pure substance can be either an element or a compound, but the composition of a pure substance doesn't vary. It remains constant. The first example of a pure substance is element. As we know, an element is composed of a single kind of atom. An atom is the smallest particle of an element that still has all the properties of the element. For example, gold is an element. If you slice a chunk of gold until only one tiny particle is left that can't be chopped anymore without losing the properties that make gold, then you only have an atom of gold. On the other hand, compound is also known as a pure substance. It is composed of two or more elements in a specific ratio. For example, water is a compound made of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. These elements are combined in a very specific way, in a ratio of two hydrogen atoms to one oxygen atom, known as H2O. Many compounds contain hydrogen and oxygen, but only one has that special 2:1 ratio we call water. The compound water has physical and chemical properties different from both hydrogen and oxygen. Water's properties are a unique combination of the two elements. Furthermore, if we add one more oxygen atom to H2O, we end up having H2O2, or as we know, hydrogen peroxide, a known antiseptic used to clean up wounds. This time, let's talk about mixtures. Mixtures are physical combinations of pure substances that have no definite or constant composition. The composition of a mixture varies according to who prepares the mixture. Although chemists have a difficult time separating compounds into their specific elements, the different parts of a mixture, on the other hand, can be easily separated by physical means, such as filtration. Take, for example, suppose you have a mixture of grains of salt and sand, and you want to purify the sand by removing the salt. You can do this by adding water, in the process dissolving the salt, and then filtering the mixture You then end up having only pure sand. There are many ways of physically separating mixtures, and we shall explore them in our future activity. Mixtures can be either homogeneous or heterogeneous. A homogeneous mixture, sometimes called a solution, is relatively uniform in composition, that is, every portion of the mixture is like every other portion. For example, if you dissolve sugar in water and mix it really well, your mixture is basically the same no matter where you sample it. It appears uniform in appearance. Another example of a homogeneous mixture is mixing vinegar with water. Upon mixing vinegar into water, you cannot distinguish where is water or vinegar in the mixture. They appear to be one in composition. A heterogeneous mixture, on the other hand, is a type of mixture whose composition varies from position to position within the sample. For example, if you put some sugar in a jar, add some sand, and then give the jar a couple of shakes, your mixture doesn't have the same composition throughout the jar. Because the sand is heavier, there's probably more sand at the bottom of the jar and more sugar at the top. In our previous example, halo-halo is another example of a heterogeneous mixture. When you look at it, you can see that the mixture is not evenly distributed, and you can distinguish more than one type of substance in the mixture. Another thing is concrete. If you inspect concrete closely, you'll know that it is a mixture of cement, sand, and some gravel. Let's see if you can distinguish mixture and pure substance in the following activity. In summary, remember that matter can be classified into two main categories: pure substance and mixture. Pure substance is further split into elements and compounds. Mixture is a physical combination of multiple pure substances. And lastly, there are two types of mixtures: homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture.